Oi, back again at 12:04. I started at 12:03, so I'm sure it's 12:04 now, but AM, January 9th, 2026, Friday morning. Dreaming majestic, you say? Have a heart so you can ascend. You know, to have a heart in this place. You're truly, do you go right way or the left way regarding your choices in life? Aye, shite show approach. Isn't there any way I can just go back the way I'm coming and say, fuck your options? But, sorry, screw your options. Aye, shush, 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 shush. The advanced classes of conjecture and speculation are now in session. You know, to have a heart and want to ascend higher than your average Joe. You know, let's just say the next realm after you shed your skin, which is a shite approach to ascending, if you ask me. You shouldn't have to die. Maybe if you ascend to a certain point. You don't have to, as one of my friends, associates, I should say acquaintances once said. But in order to get, there's things in the way that are blocking your perspectives of life, you know. That are intentional blocks, I would have to believe, set up by someone who wants you to get over those hurdles, those blocks, barricades, to allow you to ascend higher up into the higher levels of consciousness, you know, like a piano tipped on its side. And the lower key on the keyboard of the piano tipped on its side is the lowest vibration of consciousness. Those who, let's just say, think, you know, harming another or using another to your own benefit, it's totally fine and worth it. And I'm sure, whatever, I shouldn't go there because then I get a little too critical. But to get over these hurdles, you know, you're going to have quite the heart. And not look at, here we go, here's the whole list. Can't be looking at street people as any lower than you, or less fortunate, you know, whatever. Can't be judging them. Oh, great sounds. You buy a condo, you hear that going by your house every day. There's your money living in the ghetto. Concrete jungle, they say. So, in order to ascend, you have to have quite the heart. You have to look even past the judgment of those less fortunate and realize the morbidly romantic tea party you're partaking in. Is it really worth, you know, having porcelain little teacups for your party to come over and sit on your 1,000-year-old floor made from 1,000, you know, it's wood from 1,000-year-old tree, just to have a say, look what I got, you know. So, if you want to attain to that, you'll be, your next level of consciousness will give you the realms which allow you to attain such a thing. You know, those porcelain cups at the old tea party, where you're convincing yourself, I guess that's why it's so expensive, you know, if you can try to convince yourself that you're not a little girl or a little child playing a tea party, having a tea party, living in a fantasy realm, you can be paying up the yin-yang for it. So that's a hurdle. Or do you want fame? Want to be like, you know, a top celebrity where everyone knows your name? If you want that, you'll come back and have that. Great. But that's a hurdle in itself. Look at me. I'm the top cheese. And even when I'm 83, I'm still going to be shoving myself down your face. Why aren't you watching me? Doesn't matter how old I get. Till the day I die. That's a hurdle, you know, I would say. A great day. But to have a heart that can ascend into the realms of conjecture, and speculation that this mere mortal's playing in me, myself, and I. It's going to have to take a lot of hurdles looking past with no judgment. Understand why the little child at its tea party would want to be the celebrity of the party. Look at me, it's my party. My teacup, sorry. It's all right, it's great, it's a great delusion, of course. What's behind that person who wants such a thing? The heart that would need such a thing. Well, that's what their mask's hiding. You got to put on a mask to be that celebrity where everyone likes them. They're never going to, it doesn't matter. So all I'm saying is try to shine your heart. Wax on enough and wax off enough to realize those lost in the realms of living a mere illusion tea party. Well, I felt surreal, you know. What do? You just stand back, enjoy life, and if you can, add a little movement to that which is, you know. And hopefully, the pendulums of time eventually quit swaying back and forth like the nasty piatas they are, you know, and come to a fine settlement of judgment. Oi, shush. That's right, be quiet, don't tell the secret. Oi, no, we can't do that, because then we'll lose our little view on our romantically morbid tea party we have going on. We're the top dog. You know, don't come with me to the bathroom as a top dog I am, because I shit and it stinks. Oi, me, myself and I were just a little taken aback by the tea parties. So many different types of them. How beautiful children, really. There's nothing wrong with any person wanting to do what they want to do. Go for it all the way. Just trying to bring up, if you think being that famous doesn't require work, and that's where they all get my respect, it certainly does, and a lot of pain and hardship to get you there, you know. Why would you want to be noticed by everybody? You must not be getting attention at home. Like, so much so that, you know, you just... Anyways, you're trying to spread happiness to the whole world, because as that famous person, you know, you're giving back what you never got as a young child. So in a way, it kind of works out, maybe sort of. But those who kind of fall into the trap of believing, I mean, it's not a bad way, but for a celebrity to become that famous, they must have had a life that really is not something I'd want to come back and return to, no matter how many riches they got, or, you know, the tea party, the little room of the tea party looks that fine where I want to be a part of it. So all I'm trying to say is, dream majestic past the realms of what little children would want. Here's the ticket. To just dream it for yourself, and not want it for every other living thing, not just people, humans, crikey. Well, everything. I think that's when life takes on a new perspective, when you genuinely want for everyone what you yourself would wish for yourself. So, dream my shite, look at the time. 7 minutes and 34 seconds. Just gone by like that, talking about dreams and aspirations and books. And little children's tea parties that have grown and followed them up into the levels of the adults they are. I know, when you're a child, you want to get those little Hot Wheels, you know. And you just love them, so in a sense, you still got the big boys driving these fine little Hot Wheel cars, which really, you know, are gorgeous cars. You can see why you'd want one, but again, it's like a celebrity, you know, you're getting attention and it's all great. And do what you want to do, but if you really want to break away from this morbidly romantic series of tea parties held by little children who know not that they are little children, and paying out the yin-yang for it's my point, you know, to totally attain that type of income and dedication and desire to have the riches you want, it's going to take a lot of serious work. So, you know, when I walk down, and I often walk out after midnight, this time of night, sometimes 2, 3 in the morning, and I see a lot of street people, you know, and of course they're having a great time. I know it's hard at times, but for just as hard as it is for a street person, there's a lot more enjoyment being experienced by them, real enjoyment, for being grateful for things, appreciating it, than those who are having their tea parties who just, but again, the stress they go through, those who are having their tea parties with their little porcelain dolls and stuff. The work they have to put in is a lot, it's serious shite. So, but if you're going to compare someone who's living, let's say, in a 50-story high apartment building, paid maybe, you know, $7 million for that little shite hole up there, and compare that person to a street person, I think you'll find more genuine of a person in the street person than you would find someone living on that 50th floor, because all they're concerned about is profit, and you just stepped into their profit margin the moment you met them. How can they benefit of you, make a profit of you? You know, you're not seen as anything, you're not seen as different as anything than a street person. Just someone who lives on a 50th floor, or they're just so focused on their income, they don't care about you. You're just another, because they have to be. And that's the point of me bringing all this shite up. To ascend, you're going to have to get through a lot of hurdles. You see the game for what it is. I mean, great building, great, isn't it? But you got apartments on top of apartments. It's basically a little ghetto clamped into one little, 2 blocks clamped into one little, not even a block really. But when they walk out to their homes, there's a ministry for social development, welfare, disability, right there. So they got to walk out and see the lineups of all these poor people, meaning all these poor people live around here. Groceries, JJB. The majority of people who live in, East Van right now, the rents are quite crazy. It's just basically, so no matter how much you pay for that place, you got to come out and walk around what? People struggling to pay $1,500 a month just for rent. It don't matter how high the high rise goes, you still got to walk out and flow and mix with those whose tea parties aren't as pretty as yours. And the fact is, any street person or anyone trying to pay a rent of like $2,500 who lives alone, single, that's the price of a bachelor, man. They're not having a tea party. They're learning the essentials of what they say in that great book, Those Who Are Last Will Be First. Well, those who are last are currently right now struggling just to pay their rent and maintain a food budget, and even those who have had a family paying $3,500 a month, having just one child, they're almost the last. And so it doesn't matter. Shine your heart. Look past the illusion and confusion of obstacles that will bring you back here, because obviously something wants you back. I don't know, maybe it's lonely or whatever, or it just wants you to ascend and see what's going on all around you. My word, it's 12 minutes coming up right now. I'll let you go. Class is now over. Class dismissed. Shush, 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 shush.